What's up? It's almost that time of the year again where lovely people, that have a significant other go and be lovey-dovey with each other. I don't really fucking care about that because, ace, but that's besides the point. So, on to the actual part of the video. I figured, why not? Because, by the time this video comes out, it's going to be the day before Valentine's Day. And I thought, maybe do something other than, hey, these are my favorite romance manga this time, or hey, this is a romance manga that I wanted to talk about. I thought, something else, something different, something that is important that is not talked about, but definitely pertains to romance, and it's a manga that has taught me more than school. And I talked about it a bit during my Manga Log of January, but I feel like I didn't really get my, to get my point across, but didn't fully convey how I felt about the manga. So I wanted to do this. I don't know how long this video is going to be, hopefully not too long, and I can't really put any images up because, what the fuck am I supposed to put up, So, let's just get into it. And I probably won't put it in the title to, make suspense, but I figured why not talk about in more detail my thoughts and opinions on this one manga that quite literally I feel like a lot more people should read, and especially if you are younger or going through maybe high school. And let's just get into it. It's sex ed 120%. I only have the first 2 volumes because that's the only 2 volumes that are out. This is a very good fucking manga. So I'm just gonna put volume 2 there for now. This, like I've said, has taught me more than when I was in high school. What I mean by this is the premise of it is this new PE/health teacher comes to this all-girls school and decides, we're just gonna straight up discuss and actually do things along the lines of talking about sexual education, as well as, actually teaching you what you need to know, and not just from a book that's 40 years old that doesn't really pertain to people nowadays. And it is quite literally shocking how much more information that I, for one, have had to learn on my own and was barely ever taught in fucking school. Like, I cannot stress how much more information I learned in volume 1, just volume 1, than I did in my entire high school health class. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, one, I'll get into it a little bit, but just to get the point across, if you live in the States, then you probably know sexual education is very different depending on where you are in the States. For me, it was more along the lines of, hey, don't really have sex, but if you do, use a condom, and that was about it. Like, that's it. They don't tell you much else, if anything, and I am just sitting there being like, okay, I guess. That was before I realized that I was ace, so there's that, and just thought I was a good Christian boy, but, here's what it is. And looking back on it, I wish something like this had came out during high school and I read it. And yes, it does technically have the parental advisory stuff, but quite literally they are just talking about, in an educational purpose, sexual education. Like, this just within the first chapter of this volume, I learned more about certain things, and sorry, and yet it just was like, oh, this is great, and yet here I am being like, why the fuck didn't I learn this in high school or middle school or anything like that? Like, Volume 2, specifically Volume 2, because I remembered it a little bit better, because I read this like a week or two ago at the recording of this. Had a chapter about consent. Like, hey, if you are going to be in a sexual relationship, just figure out consent, what you want to have. Like, if you want to do it, make sure your partner understands and make sure you understand your partner, and that's it. Also, they did bring up the fact that BDSM is a thing, and some people have that kink. I'm not going to kink shame. It is what it is. And being like, hey, that's why safe words are a thing. I'm like, why the fuck is it that that should be taught? Like, I'm not saying go into great details, but I'm saying, like, you should be prepared. Like, I personally believe that school should prepare you for what real life is going to be and not just what they want you to learn, so everything looks better, you know, their optic wise. Like, it is so fucking annoying hearing about this and just being like, why is it that no one's talking about this? Like, this also, like, has a same-sex couple and them being like, hey, there's LGBTQ plus people in the world. This lovely lady holding the cat is Ace, which was great, and, you know, everyone was fine with it. The lady in the middle, I can't remember their names, I'm sorry. She's into BL, but also is not gay. So, it quite literally, the entire time, I'm just like, these are things that should be taught now. And also, like, the teacher, Nanako Tsuji, butchered her name, gets berated at points from the other, like the vice principal, being like, hey, you just need to teach what's in the book. But then she's like, what's in the book doesn't fucking teach what's in real life. Like, it is important that real world topics are brought into school, and as well as, like, especially now that in certain, because I live here, in certain states, they just don't want to talk about that because it's icky, I guess. But if you talk about it, it works better. Like, if you have, there have been studies that if you have proper sexual education, that teen pregnancy goes down. Like, also, I'm not advocating or saying no to like saying yes or no to abortion, because I'm a dude and I'm never going to have a kid. So, this literally does not pertain to me, but it shows that if it has readily available, abortion rates go down, as well as if it's better. Like, quite literally, if you teach about this shit, everything that they're trying to prevent by just saying, just don't do it, goes down by just bringing it up and talking about it and actually discussing the proper ways to go about this. But here I am being like, why is it that people don't pay attention to studies performed and all that? So, quite literally, these 2 volumes taught me more. It also taught me, like, one, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this information about menstrual cycles, because, you know, they're at an all-girls school. Of course, they're going to talk about that, as well as, you know, the gendered standards that are set. Like, you shouldn't feel weird about how you're not the perfect person that the advertisements say that you should be. You should be happy with who you are and go from there. Like, I love this series, but also it makes me mad, not because of the series, but because I didn't have this growing up. If I was told about, you know, asexuality in people, if I was told about, like, everything else, I would have realized earlier than 25 that I was ace. I am now 26. It is fucking insane that took so long, that I just thought I was weird, that I didn't have any sort of attraction to people, and yet this could have been solved if it was just in school, or if I had something like this growing up. Like, I just feel like you teachers, if there's any teachers, like, and you're able to get them this, and they like manga, tell them about this. Like, I'm not saying like any teachers watch me, I don't know the optics of it, but if you are a teacher and you want to have your students better equipped for actual real life fucking, just real life fucking, goddamn, I'm a child, real life, like, this would be perfect. There are several other mangas that I've read that definitely would be better if I learned them in fucking school, but yeah, this one definitely is cemented in my mind that should be, like, read, especially if you have kids around this age that are in high school going through, and, you know, as much as people want to believe that if you just tell them don't, they won't, human psychology has proven if you say that you shouldn't do it, people are going to do it because they want it more, because it's spicy then. So just be like, hey, if you're going to do it, I know you are, I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't, but just do it safely. That's it. Like, it has been so fucking long since I've read a manga that has just been like, why didn't I learn about this shit before? Like, why is it that I'm learning about this from a manga that is quite literally just there to teach, but yet done in a way that actually is entertaining? Like, this was better. I've said it before, but this was better than my entire high school sexual education. Like, just, I cannot recommend this enough for people that are going through this and want to learn more. People that have kids that instead of wanting to talk about the birds and the bees and they're into manga, get them this, because quite literally it will teach them more than fucking high school or any sort of like education if you're in the Americas. I don't know about other places, but based off of how it's portrayed in Japan, it's not great either. So what I'm saying is, read this if you want to learn more about life and how it actually works. For, like, I don't know what the fuck else to say other than this taught me so much more than high school. Like, just, goddamn. I'm trying not to be angry about something that happened almost 10 years ago, but fuck! Okay. I think my rant's done, or else I will be at this for another hour. I don't want to do that. So, I'm gonna take a breather and then come back to end the video. So, just that. Okay. I'm calm now. I can end this video. So, if you enjoyed this video, and if you wanna talk about like different manga that you've read that you probably think that you should have been taught in a certain, like in school, this, keep it in the comments. If you enjoyed my stupid face, please think about subscribing. I don't know, just think about it. I'm terrible at promotion. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you have a lovely Valentine's Day if you celebrate the dude that got his head chopped off for love. I don't know. I have never understood this holiday. Never understood it. Yeah, that's it. Like, I don't know what else to say. So, have a lovely time. Read some manga. fucking read this. It's great. Yeah. I'm gonna slightly lean off screen. Be safe. Read manga. Bye.